Hey guys, Ryan Hamer here. Hope you're doing well. Today I want to talk to you about your relationship and possible COVID crisis. So, what is COVID crisis? You're home alone. Not anymore. You're with your partner, your spouse, your girlfriend, your soon to be spouse, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, whomever you have a romantic relationship with. Now you're in quarantine. Either they're not working, or you're not working, or you're both not working, or one of you is working and one of you is at home. The problem is, you guys are spending a lot more time with each other than you normally are accustomed to. And the divorce lawyers are busy these days. Yes, they are very happy because a lot of your relationships are fractured, and a lot of your relationships are actually reaching 2 points: their saturation point, their breaking point, their bliss point. You got some people that are at home alone with their partners and they're as happy as can be. They're truly in love. They're truly connected. They're truly in sync. They're truly finding one another. They're truly falling in love with one another again. Some of them are even having COVID kids. I don't know if you've heard of it, but a lot of people are actually fornicating, copulating, and getting together and having children and creating, strengthening and building their families and stuff like that. And some of it's by accident and some of it isn't by accident. But whatever your situation is, one of the things that definitely comes up is the friction and the conflict. And I'm not talking about the friction that creates the children. I'm actually talking about, uncomfortable friction. So, why are you and your partner arguing? Why are you guys not talking? Why are you in a state of ill repair? Why are you in a state of conflict? What is it with this COVID conflict? How come? So the question keeps coming up, like, why is it that my partner and I can't get along? And we're supposed to be in love. So why is it that I can't stand to see the side of them? Why is it that when I hear his voice or when I hear her voice, I just want to throw something at them? I just want to punch them in the face. I keep hearing that. I keep seeing these videos, I keep seeing these memes, and people are truly unhappy. There are a lot of those people that put up these posts online about their relationship and how happy they are and stuff like that. And we all know that the posts are an illusion for what truly and honestly goes on behind closed doors. Think of your favorite couple that you see online and ask yourself, what is it that I'm not seeing? Am I really being led down a path of bliss? Am I really seeing what really is going on? Most likely not. And you could be one of those couples that put up those pictures, and hey, there's nothing wrong with doing that. You're happy, you're in love. You want people to see it, you want everybody to know it. But the truth of the matter is, you're not actually showing every instance, right? There's conflict that you go through with your partner. There are things that they say, things that they do that just gnaw at you, like nails on a chalkboard, right? There are things that really peeve you. Now you're seeing the toilet seat left up, you're seeing the cap off the toothpaste, you're seeing the hair on the soap, you're seeing the milk carton empty in the refrigerator, and maybe you dealt with that before. Maybe you picked up the clothes off the floor. Maybe it didn't bother you as much before, but now it is gnawing at you. It's kind of like a situation at work. I remember being at work one time and a coworker said something to me. Oh, isn't such and such like this? Don't you hate when such and such does this? I can't stand him. And I was like, whatever, it doesn't bother me. I don't notice it. But because she said something, it's only because she said something did I start noticing things. Yeah, he bosses me around. What the hell? I don't like the way he talks to me. And I didn't notice it. I completely was oblivious to it. And in life, sometimes you are like that when you're with a partner. You become oblivious to certain things, right? You become oblivious to certain habits and certain patterns and whatnot, certain things that are said to you. And Then when you're actually forced to face them, forced to confront the situation or these habits, these proclivities, these idiosyncrasies, these quirks that you ignored before, you're in quarantine. So you're going to see every side of them. You're going to see their ugly side. You're going to see their great side. You're going to see stuff that you didn't notice before, or maybe you looked over before, and it's going to bother you. And then it's going to eat away at you, and then that conflict is just going to snowball and snowball and snowball because you got shit to do. You're at home. You don't gotta go to. You don't have the escape of work. And that's the problem too, because a lot of times, there's the escapism. You can't go to your work wife. You can't go to your work husband. Some people get upset when I say that, but sometimes you do form these attachments and these relationships with friends within the workplace where you just confide in them, you talk to them. You're not having anything sexually or anything like that with them. You're not having anything untoward with them or anything, but you just feel comfortable with them. Heck, you spend more time with that other person than you do with your own partner, your own spouse. So you feel comfortable, you let your guard down, and then you actually say, hey, you know what? This is what bothers me. This is what I don't like. So what do I do? What do I do when something like that creeps up on me? Do I talk to my partner? Do I keep it to myself? Do I share it with my work wife or my work husband? Or do I call my best friend? Do I call my homie? Do I call my girlfriend? Do I call my, whomever to confide in, and do I just complain? Or do I tell the person? Do I tell them, hey, you know what? You're pissing me off. What you're doing is really bothering me. Or do we go into the classification of conflict personality architecture types where you ignore, you agree, you jump into drama, or you go with the flow, or you leave the situation? What is your conflict resolution avatar? So we all have conflict avatars. I think I talked about this in another video. But the fact of the matter is, you're here with your partner and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it because you're in quarantine together. She's not working, you're not working, he's not working, you're not working, or better yet, they're working from home. And you're not working from home because you're laid off or whatever. So they're focused in at work, and then you're feeling like, okay, what am I contributing to the household? You start to feel a little insecure, and that insecurity manifests in a different way. So you start finding fault with the other person, or when they find fault with you because they're frustrated because you're not working, you two end up going back and forth with each other. And the seeds of resentment start building. Certain comments are made, things are said that shouldn't be said, and it gets frustrating. Nothing that I'm saying here is new to any of you. Nothing that I'm saying here is a surprise to any of you, because some of you feel it, some of you see it, some of you experience it, and most of you have heard about it. And you're just wishing that you could go back to work, wishing that other person could go back to work. And you're like, why are we like this? Because I'm in love. I'm in love with her. I'm in love with him. But then you ask yourself the question, are you in love with the absence of that person at work? Or are you in love with the presence of that person? Or the idea of the presence of that person? So I'm going to repeat that. Are you in love with the consistent absence of that person, knowing that they are there, knowing that they will come back eventually, when work's done or what have you? Or are you in love with the presence of that person? Some of you are going to say, you know what, I love my partner. I love when they're around. I love being around them. And some of you are going to say, oh, I love when they're at work. I love avoiding them. I love the couple of hours that we spend together when I come in from work. The routine, right? Because they'll come home and they will complain about this, they'll complain about that. And some of you get into the coming in one ear mode and going out the other mode. So you listen, but you're not listening. You're present, but you're absent. You're physically present, but emotionally absent. Physically present, but socially absent. You're physically present, but empathetically absent. And this is real. Some people, they come home prepared to ignore their partner. And that's a whole other story. Because some of you enjoy ignoring your partner. Some of you say nothing to your partner when you go home. Some of you say nothing to your partner when they wake up. And it's a routine of consistency. And that routine of consistency contributes to the floodwaters of the reservoir of resentment. And that resentment manifests. And the manifestation occurs in different ways. The way you talk to your kids, the way you talk to your partner, the way you talk to your parents, the way you talk to your boss, the way you neglect your friends, the way you pull in your friends or only talk to your friends and not talk to your partner, and the way that you receive your partner or the way you repel your partner. There are so many different levels to this. And you have to understand what it is that you're contributing to the stress and the conflict during your COVID confinement. I think that there were a lot of problems in a lot of relationships before COVID, before quarantine, but now the revolution within your relationship is visualized within the confines of your four walls. We used to talk about how, when you stay together, if you've got kids, and a lot of couples stay together for kids and whatnot. And then when the kids grow up or get old enough to move out on their own, the partners, the mother and the father, they're now forced to confront each other. They're forced to live with each other and actually deal with each other and communicate with each other when they were so used to pouring all their energies into the children. And now the children are no longer there. So now they're forced to actually deal with each other. And there's so much stuff in the basement, so much resentment, so much frustration, so many things unsaid, so much disrespect that had been passed along both ways, and it had been buried, and now that stuff manifests to the surface. So this once-in-a-lifetime situation with quarantine and COVID, whatever you want to call it, has now caused a lot of relationships to, like a stock, if you will, that you've invested in. Now it's reached its maturity. Now you actually see what the true value of that stock is, what your stock in your relationship is actually worth, how your partner truly feels about you, and how they will treat you. So a lot of you are looking at this video, and some of you might be thinking, well, no, that's not me, that's not me. Some of you are seriously in denial, and some of you are going to show this to your partner, share it with a friend, discuss it with a friend, or not say anything and not even comment, but it's going to sit in your psyche, sitting within your subconscious, and you're going to think about it and you're going to say, Ryan was right. Maybe he's onto something. Maybe there is something that I'm not seeing. Maybe there's something that I am denying. Maybe there's something that I am not particularly comfortable with acknowledging or admitting or seeing at this particular moment in time, but there is certainly something there. And is it them? Is it the person that I'm with? Or is it me? If you're a single person and you're in love with somebody or attracted to somebody, and you don't live with them and they're somewhere else, and you two have not communicated or corresponded during this time of COVID, you're going to be looking at that relationship or potential relationship or lack thereof a relationship, and you're going to be wondering, well, what's going on there? Is there something there, or is it me? Conversations about communication and relationships and conflict during COVID is critical, crucial, extremely important to your own mental health and your well-being. Few have been really talking about it, but I believe that it's extremely important. If any of what I've said has stoked your interest or made you think a little bit, or gotten you angry, gotten you sad, or maybe gotten you happy because you realized, oh, thank God somebody actually said it, then please feel free to like, share, comment, and if you don't want to do any of that, discuss it with your friend, discuss it with your partner, discuss it with somebody that you love and care about. All right, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it's helped you, and I hope it stirred something within you, and I hope it resonates with you. My name is Ryan Hamer, and I wish you well. Take care for now. Bye bye.